I'm Maurice Henning with SkreenKings AI. I come from a background in video production, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And the one thing I've learned is this: a lot of valuable content gets buried inside long videos. Somewhere inside of a 45-minute live stream, a podcast, an event video, a business presentation, there might be a powerful quote or the perfect clip for social media. See, but finding manually, you feel like searching for a needle in a haystack, except for the haystack is an hour-long videos. This is where the problem starts. You end up scrubbing through the timeline, pause and rewind and taking notes, writing down timestamps, second-guessing yourself, and saying things like, wait, is that good at 12 minutes or 22 minutes? And after a while, the video just starts watching you. VisionReview AI is part of the workflow behind SkreenKings AI. So in this video, I want to give you a quick look at what VisionReview AI is, why I built it, and how it helps turn long videos into clear content decisions. And so hopefully it saves all of us from having to watch the same 60-minute video 5 times while pretending to know where the good part was. So let me first explain the basic idea. VisionReview AI is not meant to replace human judgment. It is not sitting there saying, I have chosen the perfect clip. Humans may now leave the building. Nope, that's not the goal. See, the goal is to help organize the review process. It helps surface candidate moments, break the video into segments, and give me a structured way to decide what is useful, what needs work, and what should possibly become a clip, a report, or a content plan. So instead of starting with a blank timeline and a cup of coffee that may or may not survive the process, I can start with a guided review workflow. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. So I've actually just recently uploaded and analyzed a video that is actually one of my clients who has a ministry service based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Shout out to my buddy and client, Kira Hedgley. Thanks for allowing us to use this as a demonstration. So what you're going to see, it's not going to point out, any sound inconsistencies, although it may say sound, it may give you areas where sound could be better. That's something we do in the post production aspect. We're just going to focus purely on Vision AI, Vision Review. Okay. So once again, this is the first screen. This is where you upload your video. It uploads and analyzes it. Now that could take a minute, a little while, depending on how long the video is. So I've already done that for us. So I'll scroll down, and that video is titled Ministry. Ministry 2. It's an MP4, 1920 1080. Okay. So this is my first time seeing this clip. So bear with me one moment here. We're going to open the report. All right. So this is their VisionReview AI workspace. Okay, once the video is processed, the app organizes it into reviewable segments. I can see the main video player here, segment information right here, review tools. You can see workflow panels and different report sections. So you got all that on screen here. We'll go over each one of those in just a moment. The important thing here is that I'm not just randomly guessing where the good parts are. The system gives me a starting point. And that matters because when you're dealing with long form videos, starting is sometimes the hardest part. So you open a 60-minute recording and immediately think, okay, I remember there was a good part somewhere. Very specific, very scientific. And VisionReview AI helps make the process more structured. Okay, so one of the first areas I look at is the top highlights section. So I'm going to scroll down here. As you can see, these are priority moments. Okay. It says, review the strongest moments identified in this video. Select the highlights you want included in the final review, real plan, or client handoff. Okay. This is where VisionReview AI services potential highlight moments from the video. All these are highlight moments. These are potential highlight moments. And of course, again, this is AI assisted, so it still needs your judgment. Okay. And it just gives me a faster way to begin the review. Instead of scrubbing through the entire video from the beginning, I can start with moments that may have stronger potential. Now, I still need to verify them, like I said. Just because something is suggested does not automatically mean it's ready to become a clip. Sometimes AI says this looks important and you watch it and realize somebody was just clearing their throat with confidence. So the review still needs a human. This is where the workflow comes in. So when I see a highlight candidate, I can click jump. So this is a candidate right here. And it'll come back up and moves to the video player directly to that timestamp. So it jumps to that 7:49 mark. Now this is useful because I do not have to manually drag across the timeline trying to find the moment. I can just preview it immediately. So the workflow just becomes that much faster. And I see a suggested highlight. I click jump. I watch the moment. Then I decide whether it's actually useful. This is the key. VisionReview AI helps me to get to the moment faster, but I still got to make the creative decision. To go to the Stretch conference and now, after I preview a moment, I can return directly back to that segment. Now, this may sound like a small feature, but if you ever review long video, you know this matters. Because without it, you jump to the video player, watch the clip, and then you're scrolling around trying to find where you came from, like you lost your car in a parking lot. All right, so like for this one here, we'll say return to segment 47. And that should be right there, the first one, right? I can also preview the next highlight without manually searching through the list again. So the review loop becomes simple. You jump to the moment, as we stated. You can watch it, return to the segment, make a decision, move to the next highlight. That is so much smoother than the old method, which was basically watch, scroll, get lost, question your life choices, repeat. Now, once I review a segment, I can mark it as a favorite, keep, reject, or leave it unreviewed. Here is how I think about those. So right here, this was the clip 47, right? And let's just say I jump to it, right? I watch the clip, all right? Then I can return back to that segment. Then I go ahead and leave it. Oh, by the way, this is our transcript here. If I covered that. But the reviewer decision, I'm gonna decide on how I felt about this clip. So like for instance, favorite means this is one of the strongest moments. It's a serious candidate for a clip, a report, or a content plan. Okay. Then I look at reject, means it is not useful for this project. Maybe it is off topic, maybe it's just weak, technically rough, or just not the right moment. And unreviewed, it means I just haven't made a decision yet. And that helps me separate the strong moments from the backup moments and the clips that do not need to move forward. And honestly, that alone saves time because not every moment deserves to be treated like it is the final scene of a movie. Some clips are useful, some clips are support material, and some clips need to be thanked for their service and left alone. There's also a selection option right here. So the selection checkbox lets me manually choose a clip for a specific purpose. So for example, I might mark a segment as favorite because it's strong, but I might only select certain clips for a specific reel, or client report, or social media plan. So favorite, keep, and reject help me judge the clip. Selection helps me build the actual chosen clip pool. So that distinction is important because a video may have several good moments, but not every good moment belongs in every deliverable. Sometimes you need the strongest clip. Sometimes you need the clearest clip. Sometimes you need the clip where nobody walked in front of the camera holding a cup of coffee. Selection gives me more control over what moves forward. After I make a decision, I can add tags. Tags help explain what kind of moment I am looking at. So, for example, here's my tag section here, segment tags. A segment tag may be tagged as a hook, all right? So you select that. It could be a CTA, call to action, sermon, a prayer, scripture, testimony, clip-worthy, needs trim, audio issue, close-up, B-roll. All these tags help organize the review. So instead of just saying this is segment 23, I can explain what segment 23 actually is. Maybe it is a strong hook. Maybe it is a closing call to action. Maybe it's a teaching moment. Maybe it's a good content, but the audio needs attention. That gives the review more context, and context is what makes the report useful, because nobody wants a report that basically says, here are 47 timestamps, good luck. That is not a report. That's a scavenger hunt. I can also add notes to each segment. For example, I might write, let's see, maybe something like strong, I can't spell, strong closing, CTA, let's keep it simple, good candidate. Okay, and so as you can see, VisionReview will automatically save that. Okay. Or you can write anything, right? Good teaching moment, useful clip, check audio before final export, anything. Good candidate for a short reel. And these notes are important because they turn the review into a handoff. An editor, a client, or content team can understand why a clip matters and why it could be used. That is where VisionReview AI becomes more than just a video analysis tool. It becomes a communication tool. It helps translate the review into something another person can actually act on. So once the clips are tagged, I can review the tag summary. This helps me see what kind of content is showing up across the video. Okay, using the first clip as an example here, I think we'll scroll back up to it, which is clip number 47. As we recall earlier, I tagged this with, clip 47. I tagged this just for example as a hook, sermon, prayer, scripture, just that one video. And as you can see over here in our category of tag summary, I'm gonna scroll down here, there's a lot to uncover here. So tag summary. So that shows me what kind of content is showing up across the video. For example, I may see content tags like sermon, prayer, scripture, testimony, encouragement. I see editorial tags. As you can see, editorial tags like hook, content tags like prayer, scripture, sermon. I can see shot type tags like wide shot, close up, B-roll. You can also see like, it basically just gives you an overall quick overview of what the video contains, and it helps answer questions like, do we have strong moments? Do we have social media clips? Are there quality concerns? Is there enough visual coverage? Is this video ready for a client report? Does it need more review? And that saves time because I do not have to hold everything in my head, which is good because my head already has enough tabs open. VisionReview AI gives me client report insights, as you can see here. This section summarizes what the review is showing in plain language. It can show best opportunities, best use, top themes, quality notes, and recommend next steps. And this is important because clients do not just need raw data, they need clarity. Okay. They want to know, what did you find? What should we use? What needs work? What should we do next? So instead of handing over a messy list of timestamps, VisionReview AI helps turn the review into a clearer explanation that makes the deliverable more useful and easier to understand. It also helps me communicate the value of the review, because I watched your video, sounds okay, but I reviewed your video, identified the strongest moments, organize them by use case, flag quality concerns, and create a content plan. Sounds a whole lot better. Also sounds like I did not just sit there with snacks and vibes. VisionReview AI supports quality control. That means I can flag or review issues like dark footage, shaky footage, blurry moments, audio concerns, or clips that may need trimming. This matters because a moment can be good from a content standpoint, but still need technical attention. So for example, the message might be strong, but the audio may be low. or the clip might be useful, but the beginning needs to be trimmed, or the moment may be powerful, but the camera looks like it was mounted on a shopping cart. Quality notes help prevent weak clips from slipping into a client-ready deliverable. The goal is not just to find content. The goal is to find content that can actually be used. Another important part of the VisionReview AI is the social repurposing plan. This is personally one of my favorite ones. This essentially, I'm just going to scroll down to it so that you can, it's probably way down the bottom here. So what it does while I'm scrolling is essentially helps connect review clips to different platforms. How cool is that? So under our exports category, you can scroll down here and you'll see something that says download social repurposing plan. Okay, so for example, a moment might work well for Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, or LinkedIn. You know, each platform has a different style, but what works on LinkedIn may not work the same way on TikTok. And what works on TikTok may not work the same way in a client report. This is why content planning matters. The goal is not just to say, here's a clip. The goal is to say, here's how this clip could be used. And that's a big difference, because one long video can become multiple pieces of content if it is reviewed and organized correctly. So once again, that's you click that, and then essentially it will give you a repurposing plan in a text file. So then we have here's our 7-day content calendar. Okay, now this gives a suggested posting sequence. It can help map out what to post, where to post it, what segment to use, what the angle should be, and what call to action makes sense. So, for example, instead of a client saying, okay, we have a long video, now what? The report can help answer that. Maybe day 1 is an Instagram reel. Day 2 is a Facebook post. Day 3 is a YouTube short. Day 4 is a LinkedIn post, and so on. So now, of course, the content plan still needs human review. I'm not saying the app wakes up in the morning and becomes your marketing department, but it gives you a structured starting point, and that's valuable. Because most people do not just need more content, they need a plan for what to do with the content they already have. At the end of the review, VisionReview can export different deliverables. And I'll scroll down to that so you can see here. Okay, so this might include a client report PDF right here, a client handoff package. That could be a social repurposing plan, a 7-day content calendar, and other internal review files. This is where the tool becomes practical for SkreenKings AI. The client does not need to sit inside the app. They do not need to learn every button. They do not need to become a video review technician overnight. They send the footage, SkreenKings AI reviews it using VisionReview AI, and the client receives an organized report with the highlights, the timestamps, the notes, the quality concerns, and content recommendations. And this is the service workflow. It keeps the technical process behind the scenes and gives the client something clear and useful.